Women's Euros, there was an incident with regards to the racist abuse that one of the players on the England team got. Now, then the taking of the knee, the team decided they weren't going to do that no more because they were saying this ain't doing nothing. Just really concisely and quickly, what can we do to change racism in football as it is now? Because it's like we keep going on about it's going every season, players can walk off, players can do A, B and C. What can we do to actually stop that from fans or on the pitch? Because it's endemic, it's everywhere.
So I've got so many solutions, you know that.
Go on.
But they won't employ me.
Why not?
Because I just know, next minute you turn up, there's a horse head in your bed. that kind of nonsense. But I'd stop things real quick. As soon as the racism started, all of the team playing, all of the subs and the manager, let's go and all sit down in the centre circle. Don't say nothing. Just go sit there, in a row, in a circle, face each other. Don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing. Watch how quickly they'll be like, yo guys, get up. I'll just sit there, silent protest. Anytime it got to the point where you've pointed to the officials, they've said, okay, just play on, it carries on, just say to them, you know what, done, let's all go and sit down in the middle of the central circle. You'll see how quickly you start making headlines. You don't need to start doing the whole, shouting back at the fans. That looks mad. That's a protest. That's he's just lost his head. He's not a professional. One second. Let's all go and sit down in the centre circle. Hold hands. Sit down. Do the peace sign. Just think about it. Just think about it for a second.
You know what that
How
requires?
impactful would that be?
You know what that requires though.
Go on.
Togetherness.
Yeah,
How much in protest do you ever see togetherness?
Right, but they all took the knee.
Not all.
Yeah, but
No.
Most.
Most.
They took the knee.
At the beginning, there was only a couple that said we're not on it. But
They got nothing
when
to
you
lose
ask
by
them-
doing that.
But when you ask them why are you not on it, cool. Now the thing is, if we all held hands right now and sat down in the middle, someone watching the podcast is like, "What's going on? This looks nuts."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What are they doing? You trigger conversation just naturally. Do that on a main stage with TV cameras. 60,000, 50, well, certain clubs don't get that much. Anyway, do you know what I mean? Certain amount of fans in the stadium. We've paid money to watch you all sit there. Eventually, the noise will be heard. You have to be, sorry, bud. You have to be able to speak to these people in a language they understand. And unfortunately, that's commercial. Like, let's be real. If you've got
Money, yeah.
If you've got black men or black women running around earning for their club or their country and getting the plaudits when things go great and everyone's celebrating is one thing. But when things are not going great, they're like,
distance.
why are you like that? Let's just leave them alone. Nah, let's all go sit down. And the thing is, do you know how I'd make it even worse? Imagine you lot all sat down and Buddy didn't. I'd say, all right, everyone, let's just point at Buddy. Now, he would have to make a choice. Is he going to stand there or is he going to come and sit down with us? Do you get what I'm saying?
But then obviously that goes on to what Liam was saying with unity. I mean, at the end of the day, if someone's made a decision to not do something, they will have their own reasons why they do and why they don't feel it's right to do so. So, for example, Wilfried Zaha decided that he didn't believe that taking a knee meant anything to anybody. So he said, I'm not taking it anymore. You can't force me to do so. Yeah? I do feel like, obviously, being racist is a decision. Yeah? People say you're born with it. Listen, it's a decision. You decide to say what's coming out your mouth, regardless of what's happening. But in terms of it being policed, if someone is seen to do something that's against the law, I think the sanction that they need to put in place for fans that want to decide to be racist needs to be simple, lifetime ban from any stadium. How they do that, I don't know. Don't care enough to kind of go that far down the line, but I don't want to see you in here ever again or on telly. It's a difficult one because I feel like to stop it in one place, you'd need to have some kind of blanket that kind of says this is the threshold everywhere. And just to say to someone that they're not going to be allowed to be racist in this place doesn't mean they're not going to be racist anymore. So maybe you then say to that person, you've got a lifetime ban, but also you've got to attend these workshops, otherwise you go in jail. I don't know. But these are just ideas I'm throwing out there. You're really not going to get to the bottom of it because the people that are there to make the sanctions like money too much. So they're not really recognising what the real problem is.
It was Vinicius, isn't it, who had the
Yes.
I can't remember what's it called when they make they hung
the puppet.
Yes.
Or
effigy.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They hung it from a bridge, innit? His own supporters.
Yeah.
The next game, I would have been sitting in the centre circle. Soon as kickoff come, you lot passing it around.
Spurs done it to Sol Campbell though, didn't they? More or less the same thing. Didn't they burn it or something like that?
Yeah.
When he signed to Arsenal.
What has happened? It was something someone said earlier on. Was basically like, I just want to move it on real quickly as well. I don't know. James might know this one. I don't know the game exactly. I want to say it was Getafe versus Barcelona. Both teams had already, I think Barcelona had already won the league, or was going to win the league, or was in Europe, or whatever it was. They'd done their job, all right. And Getafe needed to not lose to not get relegated. Both of them just needed a point. So what they did, they just passed the ball. Kept on just passing the ball. They kept it. Everyone just
It's
kept it.
happened in Austria and Germany
And
as well. Years ago.
they did it for. I watched the game for some stupid reason, all right. And I sat there for 90 minutes just watching.
Working out who's going to score.
It's fascination though, isn't it? That's
I
why.
said, they're really just going to keep up. They just literally just went and they kept on passing the ball. And it's because someone said they've got there was nothing to lose, nothing to gain, so they can do that type of thing. So when you're talking about a protest, it's because they had nothing to lose or nothing to gain. If I'm in a match now, final game of the season, we can win the league, we can't win the league, and you're going to tell me that my team's going to sit there because of some dickhead turning shouted something racist, and now they're going to sit there and do nothing. The uproar. Like, what are you doing? So they wouldn't do it.
You,
the money
you would
wouldn't
prioritise
I'm not
winning
saying
the
me.
league over the
I'm not saying
defence
me.
of someone
the club itself. The club itself wouldn't do it because the money around
So what
it,
you're telling
it
me
wouldn't be, it
is
wouldn't-
the club is
wouldn't do it.
racist. The thing is, no. If you break it all down, take everything else out of it, you're saying we could win the league, or we can protest against racism. Let's just win the league, and then we'll donate to the
And then we'll deal with it
to the
afterwards.
racist charity.
Every club's doing that.
So that,
Every
and that's
club's doing
why
that.
nothing changes. That's why Zaha's saying the need
I'm
doesn't
not
work.
taking the knee.
He said at the beginning, there's no unity.
No, but the point I'm saying is, like, the point you literally just made is, if we're going to win the league today or conquer racism, and you're like, let's win the league first and then talk about racism.
Business, bro.
All that,
brother, it's not like that wouldn't happen.
Do you know
It's a
what? Do you know what? It's like I'm talking to my foot. What I'm saying is, if you are serious about really making a stance,
Sacrifice,
you have to do something
you have to make a
outside of the norm. And if it's bigger than let's win the league or let's do this, let's do that, then you make that choice. So the knee, Colin Kaepernick, he turned around and said, "I'm going to do it." They said,
Because
"If
it
you do it
affects
again,"
him.
they said, "If you do it again, you're not allowed to. We're going to blackball you from football." Just kept doing it. All of a sudden, he got blackballed for 2 seasons, I think.
Yeah, it was 2.
So, and then after that, 1 second, it was like, well,
couldn't get back in.
not just him doing it, everyone's now doing it. Now it got seen as it's a movement. Now, don't get wrong, I don't know, and I can't say for sure exactly how much momentum was shifted in the US, but it made its way over to the Prem, it made its way over to the UK. Do you know what I mean? I'm seeing players do it, and players who may or may not even agree, they were like, our team's doing it, we're going to do it. So I'm saying, until you look at things as an entirety, you can't say we can be racist as long as we're winning. I mean, we can defeat racism as long as we're winning. But if we're losing against a team, let's deal with racism after. This is where the problems come in.
Final point, buddy.
And I don't know how to fix it.
Buddy.
What?
No. Same thing. I don't have the solution.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how
But
to fix it.
the point was what I was trying to say to you, and you said it. You're talking about a person. If one person's going to, Colin Kaepernick affected himself. All right, it could have destroyed his career. Now, if the racism was done against me, all right, and now the football club, we're about to win the league, the football club's not going to say, well, we're going to lose it for the chairman, the manager, the support staff, the kitchen staff, the fans, the this, the that. They're not going to do it because it affects so many people. They will turn and say, we will deal with this afterwards, because you doing that, and all you've done is you've affected us and said, we didn't win the league because Lee was racially abused and we took a stance. Okay, great. And it's a massive statement, brilliant statement. But how they're going to remember Arsenal won the league though? That's what's going to go down. Arsenal won the league though. You know what I mean? What else? It's a
I
massive
don't know.
statement.
If it's anything, sorry, I know you said last
Yeah,
point.
go.
My bad.
No,
yeah.
you can't.
No, go on,
He
just go on.
sets you up,
No,
innit?
no. I got one.
Last one.
You know this sign. You know this sign. You know this sign.
Go on,
You know this sign. You think to yourself, wow, why did he do it? Why did he do it? Who did it?
Owens.
Who else?
Yep.
Who was next to him?
The guy that gave
The other guy, innit?
The
The other guy.
his name.
Who was next to him?
Yeah.
The other runner. What race was it? What year was it? but what does it mean? Do you understand? So I'm saying the impact of the movement.
Yeah.
This is the difference.
Final point.
I'm done.
Yeah, and I was just going to touch on something we spoke about earlier on, yeah? Obviously, Colin decided to do it, and it only kind of affected him, but it made its way over to the UK, yeah? And obviously other people in the US decided to take it up as well. But you could almost argue that it almost became a pandemic to some degree, yeah? Because it started to spread. Now, if you have unity, it will become a pandemic, let's be honest. So people won't be able to stop it spreading because everyone will support it. But the first thing is first, there needs to be an understanding. Because everybody that had, and I'm sorry if anybody lost anybody in COVID, but everyone that had lost someone or, you know, they understood how COVID was transmitted. They understood everything about it, so they knew how to avoid it. So, you know, knowledge is power, and I hear you, man, talk about that on the podcast regular. Like, that is the key thing here. Like I said earlier on, you put someone on a lifetime ban, but they also have to do a workshop, and they have, and you know, they face jail, and there's loads of repercussions on the back of you not doing that one thing correctly. Yeah. You know, you want to go out and have a house party in the back while everyone's, like, you know, isolated.
And you're not wearing a mask. And
and there's a drone flying over your yard. Good luck. Yeah, you should catch a big slap. But that's what it is.
I'm not even going to make another comment. I'd have just said that I would have done the protest differently after I won the trophy.
That's it.